When CES EduPack first opens, it looks like this. We have our different levels and different databases on this open screen here. We'll go ahead and select level 1 for now, since that's what we'll be using for this project. Now let's go ahead and explore some of the options. Under File, we can create new or open existing projects. Some of these options are blocked out because we don't have any materials selected just yet. Other parts of these enable us to change the view that we have, again, once we've opened some different materials or databases. Let's go ahead and start with the Browse feature. So looking here, let's go ahead and select Glasses and Ceramics and look at the folder structure. Once we get towards the bottom, we see that there are different specific materials listed. By double-clicking on one of the names, we open up the summary sheet for that material. Scrolling through, we see that there are different properties listed, from mechanical, thermal, electrical, optical, and even eco properties of a material. If you don't know what a material is, you can click on the information button and a new window opens explaining that property. If we go ahead and open another material, we see that again, there are similar properties listed. Now let's go ahead and change to the search view. We're not changing what materials we'll be able to see, we're just changing how we can find them. Let's search for aluminum. We can see we can find them in different materials specifically, or as parts of different processes. Now let's look at the chart select view. If we wish, we can change the material database, or let's go ahead and make our own subset of filters. In this extra window that pops up, we can go ahead and pick what classes of materials we want. So for example, let's deselect polymers. We'll click OK. Now we see that all of these different materials pop up that are not polymers, but we should apply some sort of filter to them. Let's working with a chart filter. Oh, there's nothing there. We have to go ahead and select a property. So let's we'll go back and edit that. Select an attribute. Let's pick density, for example, for this one. So now we can see all the different materials ranked by their density. If we double click on a specific grouping, we're brought to that materials page. At this top here, we can switch between all the different pages that we have open. So let's go back to our selection stages here and apply another limit. So here we can go through each of the properties and assign numerical values that we wish to filter through. These are based off the properties on the pages. If you don't know what kind of values you're looking for, click on that little limit bar and you can see what type of materials have what ranges for that property. Let's go ahead and enter the number 5 as a maximum for the Young's modulus. And apply, and we'll see. Now we only have 17 of those 43 materials through. We can apply limits, multiple limits through one stage. Now let's try changing our database to a different level. Level 2 includes a little bit more materials than level 1, but let's go ahead with level 3. And yes, let's apply the material database to our current selection. As it loads, we see that there are quite a bit more materials in this database, and they're much more specific than they were in database level 1. We have multiple forms of each material. It's very, very specific. Now let's go back to Browse View and see what that looks like in this database. This looks similar on the top level, but as we go through and look at the subfolders, they're divided a little bit differently. Further looking at the subfolders, we see divided out by element, divided out by processing type, and then finally by alloy series. Even these very, very specific material pages have similar properties to what we saw in level 1, but there's quite a bit more detail to them. We also see that there is chemical composition listed. Ultimately, level 3 is much more specific than we need for this project in this course, but I just wanted you to be aware of it for your other classes.